The bright screens of the Deep Space Monitoring Station lit up the dark room as Admiral James Thompson stared at the unusual readings. Something large had just appeared near Pluto's orbit, and it definitely wasn't natural. "Sir, the object is changing course," reported the young officer at the main console. "It's moving toward us at speeds we've never recorded before." Thompson reached for the secure phone that connected him directly to the Global Defense Council. After 30 years of service, he had always wondered if humanity was truly alone in the universe. Now, on a quiet Tuesday morning, he had his answer. "This is Admiral Thompson. We have a code black situation. I repeat, code black." His words set off a chain of events that had been planned but never tested. Within minutes, military bases worldwide went into high alert, and space monitoring stations from every major nation focused their instruments on the approaching object. The mysterious vessel slowed as it passed Jupiter, giving Earth's telescopes a clear view. It was massive, easily the size of a small city, with a sleek design that spoke of advanced technology far beyond humanity's current capabilities. "Admiral, we're picking up a signal," announced Communications Officer Robert Baker. "It's being broadcast on all frequencies." The message that played through the station speakers was in perfect English, though the voice carried an artificial tone. "People of Earth, you are hereby notified of your incorporation into the Galactic Empire. Your solar system lies within Imperial space, and as such, you are subject to Imperial law. Prepare for the arrival of the Imperial delegation. Resistance will result in immediate disciplinary action." Thompson's face hardened. Humanity had survived countless wars, natural disasters, and near-extinction events. They hadn't come this far to simply bow down to the first alien empire that showed up at their doorstep. "Send our response," he ordered. "Keep it simple." Baker typed quickly, and the message was broadcast. "This is Earth. We are a sovereign world. Any unauthorized entry into our solar system will be considered an act of war." The next few hours were a blur of activity. The Global Defense Council convened an emergency session, and military forces worldwide were placed under unified command. The secret orbital defense platforms, hidden from public view for decades, were quietly brought online. In the Pentagon's war room, Thompson met with the world's top military leaders. General Lisa Martinez, head of the North American Defense Command, spoke first. "Our analysis suggests their technology is at least 2 centuries ahead of ours. Conventional weapons may be useless, but they don't know about Project Guardian," Thompson replied, referring to the quantum-linked defense grid that had been humanity's best-kept secret for the past decade. "Sir," Baker's voice came through Thompson's secure comm. "The alien ship is launching smaller vessels, 3 of them heading toward Earth." Thompson looked at the assembled leaders. "Ladies and gentlemen, I suggest we show our visitors why it's unwise to threaten Earth." The first demonstration of humanity's resolve came swiftly. As the Imperial shuttles entered the upper atmosphere, they were met with a precisely calculated response. The quantum defense grid activated, creating a barrier of energy that the alien ships couldn't penetrate. "Imperial vessels," Thompson broadcast, "this is your only warning. Earth is not accepting visitors at this time. Return to your ship or face the consequences." The alien ships hesitated, then pressed forward. Thompson nodded grimly. "Deploy countermeasures." A series of focused energy pulses disrupted the aliens' propulsion systems, sending them tumbling back into space. The message was clear. Earth wasn't as helpless as they had assumed. The main Imperial vessel maintained its position near Jupiter, silent for several long minutes before transmitting again. "Your resistance is noted. The Empire has ruled 10,000 worlds for 20,000 years. You cannot hope to stand against us. We will return in greater numbers. Your choice is simple: submit or be destroyed." Thompson smiled slightly as he prepared Earth's response. "Message to Imperial vessel. Earth has its own declaration. This solar system is closed to Imperial forces. We'd fought our own wars for thousands of years, and we've gotten quite good at it. If you want Earth, come and take it. As the alien ship retreated toward the outer solar system, Thompson knew this was just the beginning. But for the first time in history, humanity was truly united against a common threat. The coming war would test them all. But Earth would not go quietly into the night. Earth had made its declaration. Now they had to prepare to back it up. 3 days after Earth's defiant message, the Empire made good on its threat. Captain Mary Wells stood at her command post in the Lunar Defense Station, watching as 12 Imperial warships emerged from faster-than-light travel near Mars. All stations, battle positions, she ordered, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. The lunar base's crew moved with practiced efficiency, their months of drills finally put to the test. The Imperial fleet's commander wasted no time with warnings. The alien ships spread out in an attack formation that had likely conquered hundreds of worlds. They clearly expected a quick victory. "They're launching fighters," reported Lieutenant James Wilson from his sensor station, counting over 200 small craft. Wells smiled slightly. "Let them come." Activate the quantum net. Across the solar system, hundreds of satellites silently powered up. Earth's scientists had discovered quantum entanglement could be used not just for communication, but for creating energy fields that could disrupt any known form of propulsion. The Empire was about to learn why it was dangerous to underestimate humans. The Imperial fighters streaked toward Earth, their engines glowing with exotic energy. They made it halfway before the quantum net activated. The effect was immediate and devastating. The fighters' engines sputtered and died, leaving them drifting helplessly in space. "Imperial vessels," Wells broadcast on all frequencies, "your fighters are now stranded. We suggest you retrieve them quickly before their life support fails." The Imperial commander responded with fury, ordering his capital ships to advance. 3 massive cruisers moved forward, their weapons charging. They fired brilliant beams of energy that would have vaporized a city. But the quantum net caught the attacks, dispersing them harmlessly into space. "Return fire," Wells commanded. "Show them what Earth can do." The lunar base's main cannon, powered by a miniature artificial sun, fired a single shot. The beam of concentrated plasma struck the lead Imperial cruiser, cutting through its shields like they weren't there. The massive ship split in half, its crew evacuating in escape pods. "Impossible." The Imperial commander's voice crackled through the communication system. "Your world is primitive. You shouldn't have this technology." "You made a serious mistake," Wells replied calmly. "You assume that because we don't have a galactic empire, we must be weak. Here's a free lesson. Humans don't like bullies, and we're very good at finding ways to fight back." The remaining Imperial ships attempted to coordinate their attacks, but Earth's defenses proved too sophisticated. The quantum net disrupted their formations, while precision strikes from hidden defense platforms damaged 2 more cruisers. Admiral Thompson's voice came through on the secure channel. "Captain Wells, finish this demonstration. Authorization code: Terra Invicta." "With pleasure, sir," Wells responded. She turned to her weapons officer. "Target the Imperial flagship. Show them why they should have asked nicely before trying to invade." The lunar base's secondary weapons activated, launching a swarm of small autonomous drones. These machines, each carrying a miniature quantum disruptor, swarmed the Imperial flagship like angry bees. Within minutes, the mighty warship's systems were completely shut down. The remaining Imperial vessels retreated, collecting their stranded fighters as they fled. They left behind 3 destroyed cruisers and a clear message: Earth was not an easy target. In the aftermath, Wells received a priority transmission from Earth. The Global Defense Council had monitored the entire battle, and the results were clear. Humanity could stand against the Empire's technology. "Captain." Admiral Thompson's image appeared on her screen. "Excellent work. But this was just the beginning. The Empire won't take this humiliation lightly. They'll be back with a bigger fleet." Wells nodded. "Then we'll be ready for them, sir. Today proved what we've always known. Humanity doesn't need an empire to be strong. We just need a reason to work together." As she looked at the debris of Imperial ships floating in space, Wells knew the real war was just beginning. But Earth had shown the galaxy something important. Sometimes the most dangerous worlds are the ones that look harmless at first glance. The Empire had fired the first shot. Earth had responded. Now the galaxy would watch to see what happened next. General Marcus Stone adjusted his holographic disguise as he walked through the grand halls of the Imperial Palace on Centauri Prime. Thanks to captured Imperial technology and months of preparation, he looked exactly like a minor noble from a distant star system. His mission was simple but dangerous: infiltrate the Imperial Council meeting and learn their plans for Earth. The Empire's recent defeats had caused chaos in the Imperial court. Stone could see it in the nervous glances and hushed conversations around him. Many nobles had invested heavily in the planned conquest of Earth, expecting easy profits from a new primitive world. "The Earth situation is unacceptable." The booming voice of the Imperial Regent echoed through the massive council chamber. Stone took his place among the other minor nobles, activating the quantum recorder hidden in his artificial eye. 3 cruisers lost to a supposedly primitive world. Our intelligence said they barely had space travel. A tall figure in a black uniform stepped forward. Admiral Red, commander of the failed attack on Earth. "My Lord Regent, we severely underestimated their technological capabilities. They have weapons we've never seen before. Some kind of quantum field technology that—" "Excuses," the Regent interrupted. "For 20,000 years, the Empire has ruled the galaxy. We've conquered 10,000 worlds. We will not be stopped by one insignificant planet." Stone listened carefully as the Imperial Council debated their options. The Empire's history of conquest became clear. They usually targeted worlds that had just discovered space travel, crushing them before they could develop proper defenses. Earth's prepared response had thrown their entire strategy into chaos. "We should send the main fleet," suggested one council member. 1,000 ships. Crush them completely. "The main fleet is busy suppressing rebellions in the outer sectors," another countered. "These Earth humans have already contacted several subjugated species. There's talk of resistance everywhere." Stone hid his smile. Earth's intelligence service had been busy, spreading word of their successful defense to other conquered worlds. The seed of rebellion was growing. An elderly council member spoke up, his voice carrying the weight of experience. "In all our history, we've never faced a world like Earth. They were ready for us. They had technology we didn't know about. We must ask ourselves, what else are they hiding?" The debate continued for hours. Stone recorded everything, paying special attention to the Empire's weaknesses. Their supply lines were stretched thin. Their main fleet was tied up with other conflicts. And most importantly, they were afraid of what would happen if word of their defeat spread further. As the meeting neared its end, the Regent made his decision. "We will gather our forces. In 3 months, we will launch the largest invasion fleet ever assembled. Earth will learn why the Empire has ruled for 20 millennia." Stone quietly left the chamber, his mission accomplished. As he made his way to the extraction point, he passed dozens of alien species, all servants, all wearing the same defeated look. The Empire had broken their spirits through years of oppression. Back on his stealth ship, Stone removed his holographic disguise and sent an encrypted message to Earth. "Intel mission successful. Full recording attached. The Empire is planning a massive invasion in 3 months. But they're vulnerable. Their control is weaker than they admit. Half their fleet is tied up with growing rebellions." Admiral Thompson's reply came quickly. "Good work, General. Return to Earth immediately. We'll need every minute of those 3 months to prepare." As his ship slipped away from Centauri Prime, Stone thought about everything he'd learned. The Empire had ruled through fear for 20,000 years, crushing any resistance before it could grow strong. But they'd never faced an enemy like humanity, a species that had spent its entire history fighting, innovating, and refusing to submit. In 3 months, the Empire would launch its greatest invasion fleet, but Earth would be ready. And this time, they wouldn't just defend their world, they would take the fight to the Empire itself. The game of shadows was over. Now it was time for war. Dr. Thomas Reed hadn't slept in 2 days, but he couldn't stop now. In his underground laboratory beneath the Rocky Mountains, he stared at the holographic display showing his latest test results. The captured Imperial shield technology had finally revealed its secrets. "Run the simulation again," he told his computer. The screen lit up, showing a new type of defense shield that combined Earth's quantum technology with Imperial energy systems. The results were beyond anything either civilization had achieved alone. Dr. Reed, his assistant, burst into the lab. "The Global Defense Council is waiting for your report. They're on video call." Reed rushed to the conference room, where the faces of Earth's leaders filled multiple screens. Admiral Thompson spoke first. "Doctor, please tell me you have good news. We have less than 2 months before the Imperial fleet arrives." "Better than good news," Reed replied, sending them his data. "We've not only matched their shield technology, we've improved it. When we combine it with our quantum field generators, we can create a defense system 3 times stronger than anything the Empire has." The news spread quickly. All across Earth, factories switched to round-the-clock production. The old rivalries between nations disappeared as humanity faced its greatest challenge. Chinese factories worked alongside American designs. Russian scientists collaborated with European engineers. The entire planet moved with a single purpose: survival. In orbit, Captain Wells oversaw the expansion of Earth's defense grid. "Another satellite cluster is online," she reported to Thompson. "The quantum net now extends past Mars." The captured Imperial ships had provided more than just technology. They had given Earth a map of Imperial space, showing supply routes and weak points. General Stone's intelligence teams worked day and night, coordinating with resistance movements on other worlds. Underground, massive shelters took shape. Humanity had learned from its own wars. If the Empire broke through, the population would be safe beneath the surface. But these weren't simple bunkers. They were fully equipped cities, ready to house millions in comfort while continuing the fight. "The production numbers are incredible," Thompson told the Global Defense Council. "We've built more ships in 2 months than we did in the previous 10 years. Every nation is contributing everything they have." The council chamber, located deep under the Swiss Alps, showed holographic displays of Earth's preparations. New weapons platforms orbited every planet in the solar system. Automated factories on the Moon produced an endless stream of combat drones. Mars housed the new fleet of Earth defense ships, each one carrying Reed's improved shields. "What about the new fighters?" asked the council president. Reed stepped forward. "The Mark 7 space fighters are ready. They're smaller than Imperial fighters, but twice as fast. Their quantum drives let them ignore the Empire's targeting systems. In simulations, they're outperforming Imperial ships 5-1. But the greatest achievement wasn't the technology. It was the unity. For the first time in human history, every nation worked together without conflict or competition. Old enemies became allies. Regional disputes were forgotten. Earth's entire industrial and scientific might focused on a single goal. "We're ready for a test," Reed announced. On the main screen, a prototype defense ship moved into position. It activated its new shields just as a captured Imperial weapon fired at full power. The blast, which would have destroyed any Imperial ship, dispersed harmlessly against the barrier. The council chamber erupted in applause, but Thompson raised his hand for silence. "Good work, everyone. But remember, the Empire has ruled for 20,000 years. They'll have surprises of their own. We can't get overconfident." Reed nodded, already thinking of improvements to make. Humanity had always been at its best when facing impossible odds. Now, with the whole world working together, they were achieving things that would have seemed like magic just months ago. The Empire thought they were coming to crush a primitive world. Instead, they would face a united planet armed with technology that merged the best of both civilizations. Earth wasn't just preparing for defense, they were preparing to change the galaxy forever. The countdown to invasion continued, but with each passing day, Earth grew stronger. Commander Anna Roberts stood on the bridge of the Earth defense ship, Defiant, watching as the largest fleet in Imperial history emerged from faster-than-light travel. 2,000 warships filled the space between Jupiter and Saturn, their metal hulls gleaming in the distant sunlight. All defense stations report ready, her tactical officer announced. Quantum net at full power. Earth's shield grid is active. Roberts took a deep breath. 3 months of preparation had led to this moment. Send the signal to Admiral Thompson. Operation Thunderbolt is go. The Imperial fleet moved forward in perfect formation, their confidence clear in every movement. Their commander's voice boomed across all frequencies. People of Earth, your defiance ends today. Surrender now or be destroyed. Roberts smiled. Send our reply. Come and get us. The battle began with a massive Imperial barrage. Thousands of energy beams struck Earth's outer defense grid, but humanity's new shields, combining Imperial and Earth technology, held strong. Not a single shot got through. Launch fighters, Roberts ordered. Hundreds of Earth's new Mark 7 fighters streamed from hidden bases on Mars and the Moon. They were smaller than Imperial fighters, but far more agile. The quantum drives that Dr. Reed had developed made them almost impossible to hit. The space between planets turned into a battlefield. Earth's fighters darted between Imperial ships, their advanced weapons cutting through enemy shields. The quantum net disrupted Imperial formations, turning their careful planning into chaos. Enemy cruisers breaking through Sector 7, warned the tactical officer. Roberts acted quickly. Activate the asteroid defense platforms. Dozens of what looked like normal asteroids suddenly came to life. These were humanity's secret weapons, massive gun platforms disguised as space rocks. They had been waiting silently as the Imperial fleet passed, and now they opened fire from behind. The Empire's ships found themselves caught in a trap. Earth's forces attacked from all directions, using tactics no Imperial commander had seen before. When they tried to concentrate their forces, the quantum net would disrupt their engines. When they spread out, Earth's fighters would pick them off one by one. "Mom," called out the sensor officer. "The Imperial flagship is launching some kind of new weapon. Energy readings are off the charts." Roberts watched as a massive beam of energy shot from the Imperial flagship, powerful enough to destroy a small moon. But humanity had planned for this too. Hundreds of quantum field generators activated at once, catching the beam and redirecting it back at the Imperial fleet. The explosion destroyed 30 Imperial ships. For the first time, fear crept into the Imperial commander's voice. "Impossible. How can primitives like you have such weapons?" "You made a mistake," Roberts broadcast back. "You thought technology alone makes a civilization strong. But humans have something better. We never stop learning, never stop improving, and we never give up." The battle raged for hours. Imperial ships fell one after another to Earth's defenses. The Mark 7 fighters proved their worth, running circles around Imperial vessels. The quantum net trapped entire squadrons, leaving them helpless against Earth's weapons. Finally, after losing half their fleet, the Imperial forces began to retreat. But Earth wasn't finished. Roberts gave the signal, and a new wave of ships appeared from behind Saturn's rings. Earth's reserve fleet, waiting for this exact moment. "All ships pursue the enemy," Admiral Thompson's voice came through. "Don't let them regroup. Today we show the galaxy that humanity isn't just fighting for survival. We're fighting for freedom." The Empire's mighty fleet broke apart, running in all directions. The battle for Earth was over, but the war was just beginning. As Roberts watched the Imperial ships flee, she knew everything had changed. Humanity had not just defended their world, they had shattered the myth of Imperial invincibility. Across the galaxy, news would spread. Earth had not just survived the Empire's greatest attack, they had won decisively. The message was clear. The age of imperial rule was coming to an end, and humanity was leading the charge. 1 month after Earth's victory, Admiral John Parker stood on the bridge of the flagship Liberty, leading humanity's first push beyond the solar system. The ship's quantum drives hummed softly as they approached the imperial supply world of Nova Prime. Status report, Parker commanded, watching the tactical display where 50 Earth ships moved in perfect formation. General Stone's intelligence was correct, sir, his second-in-command reported. The Empire withdrew most of their forces to defend their core worlds. They left their supply lines almost unprotected. The Empire's defeat at Earth had changed everything. News of the battle had spread across the galaxy, carried by countless alien merchants and travelers. Worlds that had suffered under imperial rule for centuries began to rise up. Sir, incoming transmission from the resistance forces on Nova Prime, the communications officer announced. The face that appeared on the main screen wasn't human. The alien had blue skin and 4 eyes, but his expression of hope was unmistakable. Earth Fleet, this is Resistance Leader Ben. My people are ready. We've disabled the planetary defense grid exactly as planned. Parker nodded. After their victory, Earth had quickly formed alliances with other species. General Stone's intelligence network had connected them with resistance movements on dozens of worlds. Today, they would show that Earth wasn't just fighting for itself, it was fighting for everyone's freedom. All ships, battle positions, Parker ordered. Remember, we're here to free Nova Prime, not destroy it. Precision strikes only. The Earth fleet dropped out of quantum space directly above the Imperial base. Their improved shields, now even stronger than during the defense of Earth, easily absorbed the surprised enemy's fire. The Mark 7 fighters launched, their pilots working alongside alien resistance fighters who knew every detail of the base's layout. Enemy ships rising from the surface, reported the tactical officer. 10. No, 15 Imperial cruisers. Parker smiled. Just months ago, 15 Imperial cruisers would have seemed like an unstoppable force. Now, after Earth's technological advances and battle experience, they were barely a threat. Activate the quantum net, he ordered. The Imperial ship's engines sputtered and died, leaving them floating helplessly. On the planet below, the resistance forces launched their attack, using weapons and equipment supplied by Earth. The battle was over in less than an hour. The Imperial garrison, cut off from reinforcements and faced with superior technology, surrendered. For the first time in 20,000 years, Nova Prime was free. Admiral, his communications officer called out, "We're receiving signals from dozens of nearby systems. They're asking for help. The rebellions are spreading faster than we expected." This was exactly what Earth had hoped for. Every liberated world weakened the Empire's grip on power. Every victory inspired more systems to resist. The Empire had ruled through fear for millennia, but Earth had shown that they weren't invincible. "Send word to Earth," Parker ordered. "Nova Prime is secured. Request permission to proceed to Phase 2. Admiral Thompson's reply came quickly. "Permission granted. The shipyards on Mars have completed 2 more fleets. They're on their way to support your offensive. Good hunting." Parker addressed his crew, knowing his words would be shared across the fleet. "Today we proved something important. Humanity didn't develop our technology and strength just to defend ourselves. We're using it to help others win their freedom too. The Empire thought they could crush us and add Earth to their collection of conquered worlds. Instead, we're going to free every world they've enslaved." As the Earth fleet prepared to jump to their next target, Parker looked at the tactical display. Dozens of Imperial supply routes were now vulnerable. Without these supply lines, the Empire's massive military machine would start to crumble. The Empire had ruled the galaxy through fear and overwhelming force, but they had never faced an enemy like humanity, a species that fought not just for survival, but for the freedom of all. The tide of war had turned, and the galaxy would never be the same. 6 months after the liberation of Nova Prime, Admiral James Thompson stood on the bridge of Earth's newest flagship, Humanity's Hope, as it led the combined fleet toward the Imperial capital. Behind his ship, 500 Earth vessels flew alongside 300 ships from liberated worlds. This was Operation Freedom, the final push to end Imperial rule forever. Multiple Imperial fleets detected ahead, reported Captain Wells from her tactical station. They gathered everything they have left to defend their capital. Thompson nodded. The Empire had ruled for 20,000 years from this system. They wouldn't give it up without a fight. Send the signal to all ships. Operation Freedom is go. The space around the Imperial capital erupted in the largest battle the galaxy had ever seen. Earth's quantum technology clashed with Imperial weapons, while freed alien races fought alongside human crews. The Empire's remaining forces fought desperately, but they faced something they'd never encountered before. A coalition of free worlds fighting together. "Sir," Wells called out, "Dr. Reed's new quantum disruptors are working perfectly. Imperial ships are losing power across their entire defense line." The battle had been carefully planned. General Stone's intelligence teams had identified every Imperial weakness. Admiral Parker's fleets had cut off all their supply lines. Now Thompson would deliver the final blow. Imperial Command. Thompson broadcast on all frequencies, "Your reign of terror ends today. You have two choices: surrender and face justice, or watch your empire crumble completely." The Imperial Regent's voice responded with rage. "We have ruled this galaxy since before your species learned to make fire. We will never surrender to primitives." "Wrong answer," Thompson replied calmly. "All ships, execute Pattern Delta." Earth's fleet split into smaller groups, each one using tactics that had been perfected over months of fighting. Mark 7 fighters darted between capital ships, their quantum drives making them almost impossible to hit. The combined fleet's improved shields absorbed everything the Empire could throw at them. In the middle of the battle, General Stone's Special Forces team struck. Using captured Imperial technology and help from resistance fighters, they teleported directly into the Imperial Palace. The Empire had never expected their enemies to reach their most secure fortress. "The palace defenses are down," Stone reported over the secure channel. "The Regent is trapped. It's over." Thompson watched as the Imperial fleet's formation broke apart. Without orders from their leaders, many ships began to surrender. Others tried to flee but found their escape routes blocked by Earth's quantum net. "Attention all Imperial forces," Thompson broadcast. "Your leaders are in custody. Your capital is under our control. Stand down and prepare to be boarded." One by one, the Imperial ships powered down their weapons. On thousands of worlds across the galaxy, news of the Empire's fall began to spread. After 20,000 years of oppression, the galaxy was free. In the Imperial Palace's Grand Throne Room, Thompson met with representatives from dozens of freed worlds. The massive chamber, which had once hosted the Empire's displays of power, now served a different purpose. "Today marks a new beginning," Thompson announced to the gathered aliens and humans. "Earth proposes the formation of the Free Systems Alliance. Not an empire, but a partnership of equals. Every world will govern itself, but will stand together against any future threats." The alien leaders, many of whom had fought alongside humanity, quickly agreed. They had seen how Earth used its power not to conquer, but to free others. The Free Systems Alliance was born. As Thompson looked out at the former Imperial capital, now flying the flags of 100 freed worlds, he thought about how far humanity had come. The Empire had threatened Earth, expecting to find another easy conquest. Instead, they had awakened a force that reshaped the galaxy. Earth's declaration of no entry to the Galactic Empire had started as an act of defiance. It ended by bringing freedom to countless worlds and species. Humanity had proven that true strength wasn't about conquering others. It was about standing together and fighting for what was right. The age of empire was over. The age of freedom had begun.